Hello everyone, I'm Sophia Barkett. I'm the instructor for PLSC2813, which is the Introduction to International Relations and Global Studies. To begin with, let's talk about the Blackboard shell and how to use it. And let's also look at the textbook and look at the syllabus. Let me first show you what the book looks like. So it's titled Essentials of International Relations by Karen Mingst and Heather McKibben. So this book is available through Amazon.com. It's not available through the bookstore. I wasn't able to order through the bookstore on time. Amazon has the Kindle version, which might be good for this course because you can easily download it and you can start reading. So without much ado, let's go straight to the course shell. I'm going to share the course shell here. So when you enter, you will probably see the left-hand menu. And the place to go would be Start Here. Start Here page has a welcome note from me, which I require everyone to read. You should look at it very carefully because it outlines what we're going to do in the semester. You'll also note that the lectures are created by Dr. Bayram. Her name is Borju Bayram, and she's a professor in the Political Science Department at University of Arkansas. The global campus is trying to create some standardized courses. And since she has been teaching international relations for a long time, they wanted to keep her as the core course instructor. And so we'll see a lot of her lectures in this course. However, there is going to be some interaction between you and me. Some of it will be through Zoom discussions. I will be grading everybody's work. And so there's a lot of interaction going to happen there. And mainly my objective is to make sure that you have understood the lectures, you have read the book, and looked at the PowerPoints that Dr. Bayram has created for every week's lessons. And you will, my interest is to make sure that you do well, and I'm going to help you to do that. So let's look very fast at the various links here in the shell. The first one is the announcements. So whenever I create an announcement on Blackboard, I have the option of making that an email announcement as well, so that you get the email. So it's possible in the last week you've received some emails from me about the syllabus. Make a note that some aspects of the syllabus have changed. So in the current course shell link for syllabus, you'll see the updated version. And that's where we kind of go into some of the details of the course. Okay, and I'll talk about the updates in a minute. Let's talk about the syllabus. So you saw the textbook in the Essentials of International Relations. Buy the 9th edition, get the e-Kindle version, or the Kindle version rather, as soon as you can and start reading. My contact information is sbarkat@uark.edu. It's SBARKAT. Okay. So feel free to call me Sophia or Dr. Barkett or Professor Barkett, whichever I really prefer. The most informal is best for me. As far as office hours, I don't have any. I'm not physically located within the University of Arkansas campus. I'm actually a little bit north of Fayetteville. But we will have email. If you have a personal emergency, contact me through email. If you have a course-related question, such as what the course requirements are, whether, or if you have a conceptual question, such as related to the textbook or something that's been discussed in Dr. Bayram's lectures or PowerPoint, feel free to contact me about that, but not through email. For that, we are going to have a special section in the course module. It's in the discussion section. It's called the CAPE, I think the CAPE section, okay? So in that section, it's part of the discussions section link, look in there. In that section, I want you to post all conceptual questions that you have regarding the chapters that you're reading, anything that you see in the video that you didn't understand. I want you to ask me those questions, and it's likely that more than one of you will have the same question. So if you see that somebody has posted a question such as, I did not understand what they meant by sovereignty or what they meant by rationality or something like that, I want you to write that down and post it, okay? And other people, if you have the same question, I want you to comment on that and say, yes, I have the same question. I didn't understand that part. So please, let's help each other study here and let's stay on par with what the reading should be. So that's how we are going to communicate about the conceptual stuff. As far as the syllabus, so the syllabus is supposed to be a rubric for you to succeed. University wants us to follow rules because we're teaching, and it wants us to have like particular ways to assess students which are fair and open so that you can see the process in which we're doing it. And so the syllabus is a contract between the teacher, the university, the department, and of course you. Now look at the course drop add matriculation policies. Okay, so university has particular policies. It's going to bill you for taking a course, so you don't want to get billed for a course you don't want to take. So if you plan on dropping the course, do that before those deadlines. Okay, the course content. Okay, so the course content, as you know, is about international relations. And Dr. Bayram is going to have many lectures on the course content. So I don't want to get into the course content right now. I'm really interested in your learning. And so let's look at the teaching and learning methods, okay? So besides the fact that it's going to use a textbook and you're going to use Blackboard, I think particular things have to be accomplished by students to do well. The first thing is reading. We're not just going to watch videos and listen to PowerPoints or look at PowerPoints, but we have to go to the meat and potatoes of the book. We have to get into the substance and read the chapters, okay? Now, I've been reading it since last semester, but I've also had a full-time job at that time, and it has not been easy. And I remember undergrad years when I had to study for classes. Sometimes I wasn't in the mood. I had other homework, I had other exams. So you have to become a very disciplined person to survive in this class and to do well. And not just that, perhaps for the overall, survival in school, right? So besides that, I want you to have fun in the course. I want you to get excited about the course material. When I read the book when I read a book as an undergrad, I was sometimes a last minuter. I procrastinated because I tried reading it and it was very difficult. I didn't understand stuff. And so I said, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to come back and do it, maybe at the end of the week when I have time, if I feel like it. And when I did that, I really fell behind throughout the whole semester because concepts are related. You need to know chapter 1 before you can understand chapter 2. before 2, before 3, you need to do chapter 2. So, I mean, it's a really difficult process if you fall behind. So I would say go to a nice place in the university or off campus where it's quiet and spend at least an hour a day looking at the chapters, okay? That's your main activity. Your main goal is to absolutely grasp what's in the book, to have fun with what's in the book. Take notes, write down, you have a question, write it down in your notebook and say, oh, what did they mean here? I don't understand this. I'm going to ask Dr. Barkett on, when I get a chance this week. And maybe somebody else will understand it. And maybe they will have a chat with you online about that. So I think it's really, really important. Let's not fall behind. Another thing to know is these lectures are really quite good by Dr. Gosha Byram, and so please do listen to them. Sometimes you can just stay in your, stay in your bedroom and just relax and just put the laptop, somewhere convenient and just listen to the lecture quietly. And when you have actually read the stuff in the chapters, it's going to be very easy to follow her. So I recommend read first, then listen to the lectures. Otherwise, you'll be confused. Now, the PowerPoints are also very, very useful. So look at them. So all of this is quite a lot of work every week. So for that reason, we're not going to have regular face-to-face or Zoom feedback from me. You're going to have this 5 times per semester. Twice of those times, you're going to be active in the discussion. So we'll have live discussions, and those will be before the midterm and the final weeks. Now, the other 3 will be optional, so they might be pre-recorded feedback. So make sure you post your questions in the CAPI discussion section. As far as assignments, the choice for assignments and for, I think the best, these are kind of really good assignments for you. Quizzes every week will force you to kind of look at the chapters. I know the objective of this class is to have fun and to learn, but some of it is kind of, when we make things on a, like require assignments on a regular basis, it's to help you study. And quizzes are, I think, one of the best ways in which to help you to conceptually, keep yourself on track. The midterm and the final are essentially going to be some of those quiz tests kind of rehashed, okay? So it's not going to be super difficult. Application reports and application, let's say, discussion board are more analytical. The application reports will require some writing skill on your behalf. And you'll also need to understand what's in the book as far as theoretical issues and some historical stuff. The discussion board participation is really going to be encouraging you to apply theory again in shorter form. So let's see, instead of, so you have essentially the rubric in the syllabus of how to write application reports, how to write a discussion board participation, a little bit more about the exams. Now, when you're doing the quizzes, the midterms, or whatever it is, make sure you're not discussing this with anybody. So you take the exam alone, you take the quizzes alone, you do your work alone at all times. And the university, because this is set up through Blackboard, ITS and other people are able to actually detect if you're sitting next to a person while you're taking a test. So I would say don't do these things. And through other software, we're actually able to see if somebody is copying and pasting, say, from another website when they're answering something. So if you're going to quote something, quote, a passage or something, use citations properly. We can talk about this at some point before all of this analysis reports are required. So look a little bit about the spring 2022 semester layouts of lessons and assignments, okay? So all weekly lessons will be available to you on the Monday morning of that week at 9 a.m. And they will close at the end of the week on Sunday at like 11:55 or 59, depending on how it's set up. Look at the list of things you're required to do, okay? So make sure you do them. So if you miss a quiz for some reason, then it's gone basically, you won't be able to retake it. If you miss an exam, again, that's gone. And as I will talk about makeups and things, you will be able to make up a test or a quiz, maybe not a quiz, but definitely a test or some other kind of work. If you have a health-related reason for not being able to make up, if you have any kind of personal issues coming up or any kind of other issues, for example, you might have 90 things due that week in other courses, talk to me and email me and say, this is a really, really bad week for me. How can I do this without, messing up my grade? So what can I do? Let's talk about that. We'll figure something out. But then I need like a really good reason, okay? And of course I have to get department approval for that. So all of this is happening. You'll see that the Zoom meeting weeks are highlighted. And as you can see, there's so much work that is due every week that those Zoom meetings, I think the best way to go around would be if I had all the questions you have from the cafe discussion, and then am able to create some kind of lecture like this to answer you. So this is pretty much what we're doing. And you see the midterm exam week is Feb 28 to 6. And then you have finals May 9 to May 15. Look at the grading system and policies. This is pretty self-evident, but it's not something I've created. These are policies set by the department and the university. There's not much I can do about the grading system. As far as makeup policies, look at that very once more. I've gone a little bit over it, but look at it. Look at the COVID policy, look at communications and email etiquette. Now, as you know, people, when they interact online, sometimes it can become personal and things can get out of hand. Let's follow some like online etiquette or netiquette and look at that, the policies that have been suggested. As far as academic honesty, two things are important. One is the copyright issue. So anything I produce or Dr. Boshu produces, Boshu Veram, these are copyrighted by the university and by ourselves, and you cannot share them with anybody. You can only use them for yourself and only for class purposes. The other matter is academic integrity. So you are required to do all your work by yourself, as I mentioned. University is able to detect people who are collaborating on exams and other assignments because technology is really it's there, and there are people who are very good at networks related stuff, so they can catch people all the time. So please don't get into any kind of problems in this class because it will make my life difficult as well. Let's have fun in this class and let's do our best by working hard. As for special considerations, if you're on campus and you need any kind of special accommodations or services, all the links are here. There's academic support for people who might be struggling. There's writing and editing services, help for that. There's the writing studio. So links are provided. You can easily check out those links, okay? There's also the Center for Educational Access. Lastly, computer issues. Your computer is going to crash once in a while. Blackboard is going to crash. So save everything. Save something on your computer, and to prevent losing everything if your computer is destroyed, save things on a USB or a removable drive, okay? So for now, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to wish you the best. Let's keep in touch through cafe discussions. I will be grading you, so you'll hear from me all the time. I prefer that you don't contact me on email unless it's a course-related emergency. Other than that, I think this is the time I'm going to wrap up. So I will see you at class, and have a great semester.